Welcome to the finals match at Full Grip Games Gym Leader Challenge League Night. My name is Ben Morse. I am the player on the right. I am playing RillaSaur Venusaur Torterra with the new Bramblegast. Hunter on the left is playing a dark deck featuring Spiritomb, Hustle Belt, Frozen City. He's trying to get very quick turn 100 plus damage KOs. Tonight we are both 3-0 right now. This is round 4 of the league night. The winner gets a badge. Let's get right into the match. Hunter going first, winning the coin flip, plays Buddy Buddy Poffin to get Sneasel and Purloin. Weavile is great against the Grass matchup because Grass plays lots of ability Pokemon, meaning he can do big knockouts with only 1 energy. He gets the twin energy onto his active Guzzlord, meaning with just 1 more turn, it's possible he powers it up with something like a Switch, Dark Patch, things like that. So there's potential for a 2-prize turn for Hunter next turn. Going into my first turn, I quick ball away a Professor's Research, search my deck, checking my prizes, seeing which of my Pokemon are prized. That's like the most important step in the Grass deck, making sure when you play 3 Stage 2 lines, you always want to know who's available for this match. With Quick Ball, I get the Turtwig. Grotle, Turtwig's evolution, is the best support Pokemon in Grass. He's able to search out any Grass Pokemon with Sunshine Grace. And I play N for turn, hoping to find some more basic Pokemon, or maybe TM Evolution. But ideally, I want to find another basic, such as Bulbasaur or Grookey, so that Energy Acceleration is on deck. I find Zarude and Genesect. I put them both down. When they both have 130 HP, that means without any stat buffs, they can tank a hit from the Guzzlord and prevent a 2-prize turn, which I am worried about happening. I seem to not really find any of my other Stage 2 basic Pokemon, so I retreat into the Zarude to both not give up an easy prize on Bramblin and hopefully prevent any 2-prize turns if that ever happened. And then I pass there. It's not looking the best for my setup right now. Hunter plays Pokegear, finds the Professor's Research. He evolves Sneasel into Weavile, but with only 1 ability Pokemon in play, he's only doing 50 damage right now. He attaches a basic Dark to the Guzzlord. 1 energy left to go before Red Banquet is online, and Hunter is able to take 2 prize knockouts with the Guzzlord. He debates playing the Research. He discards Beast Ring and Professor's Letter, which I am very happy to see. With Beast Ring being gone, that means if I'm able to take out this Guzzlord before it can do too much damage, it's unlikely he'll be able to power it up again in the future, though with things like Raihan and Dark Patch and probably a double colorless energy in his deck, it's never out of the question. Thankfully, Hunter's not able to attack with Guzzlord on his turn 2. If he was, that would be definitely worst case scenario. I am happy that I get another turn before any prizes are taken to help set up my board more. Hunter grabs Spiritomb with Quick Ball to begin building Spite.
And Mountain Munch.
Well, Hunter uses Mountain Munch and discards Timer Ball off the top of the deck, which is actually pretty bad for me because I could have found Grotle with that Timer Ball, which would have been really good. I play Bill's Analysis. Look at the top 7 cards of my deck. Choose 2 trainer cards I find there. My hand isn't the best right now, so I grab Arven and Nest Ball to guarantee I can have a supporter for next turn. Nest Ball to find another of my Stage 2 basic Pokemon to continue setting that up and hopefully get it into play as soon as possible, because I'm going to need them to even respond to this Guzzlord on the next turn. Level Ball can find me the other basic. I found Grookey off the Nest Ball, and with Level Ball I can find Bulbasaur. Grotle being 100 HP means I cannot find Grotle with the Level Ball. And at this point, I have all my basic Pokemon I could ever want in play, but I whiff any evolutions. I'm a little bit stressed. I'm hoping he can't boss KO anything. I'm hoping Zarude can tank a hit. Here I'm debating whether I want to attach to Zarude or if I want to save the energy by attaching it to something like Genesect. And I have the pieces in hand the following turn, I believe, to Rare Candy into one of my stage 2s, so I was wondering if I wanted to preserve the energy. I decide to attach to Zarude and just get Groddle into my hand, building Spite to add a second damage counter onto Spiritomb, and Hunter attaches a Rainbow Energy, which puts one damage counter onto Guzzlord, and he has the boss on the Turtwig, meaning the Groddle I just grabbed with Zarude's attack is now worthless in my hand. Hunter takes 2 prizes with Red Banquet, and I am a bit struggling. I have to respond to the Guzzlord this turn, otherwise the game is definitely over at that point. So to do that, I need to either get Venusaur or Rillaboom into play right now. I play Arven as my supporter for turn, eyeing up Rare Candy. I get Rare Candy and TM Devo. I don't play any other tools in the deck. I don't even play Floatstone. TM Devo is my only tool. Now I have Rare Candy into Rillaboom. I had Rillaboom in hand. I use Rillaboom to attach 2 to the Zarude. And what's actually really interesting is that the single damage counter on Hunter's Guzzlord from the Rainbow Energy means that I can even take a knockout this turn. If Guzzlord had its full 150 HP, I would have not been able to respond to it. But thankfully, with 4 energy on the Zarude, I'm doing exactly 140 damage to knock out the Guzzlord. I use Repeated Whip on Zarude to KO the Guzzlord, and I am doing my best to just hang on in this game right now. And with only 2 ability Pokemon in play, Hunter's Weavile is only doing 100 damage. He promotes Spiritomb with currently 2 damage counters on it, but he actually fails the tag call. He plays Teammates for turn. Tag call probably was just to take a look at the deck to see what he wanted to grab with Teammates, make sure nothing important that he wanted was prized. And he just grabs a Dark Energy and a Frozen City and drops them straight down. Frozen City says when you attach an energy from your hand to a Pokemon, if it's not a Team Plasma Pokemon, you take 2 damage counters. He puts the Frozen City into play, attaches the energy to Spiritomb, putting it up to 4 damage counters, which means his Anguish Cry is doing 130 damage, which is a perfect knockout on the Zarude. He still does not have his Liepard in play to draw more cards, which I am more than happy to see. He is up ahead on 3 prizes, but I noticed that his board is kind of weak at the moment, and there's still definitely a chance for me to come back from this. I use Rillaboom's Voltage Beat ability to search my deck for energy cards. I decide to only attach 1 to the Genesect because I'm going to spend this turn using TM Evolution. I have no supporter in hand for turn, unfortunately, so I decide that it's best to continue setting up my board. And from here, I'm just hoping that Rillaboom and or Venusaur does not get knocked out by Hunter here. That would spell disaster for me. I really need to keep these guys in play if I'm going to have a chance to come back and win this game. Hunter plays Super Rod to put back Guzzlord and 2 energy into his deck. And Hunter plays Piers to find a dark Pokemon and an energy card. Hunter just grabs the Hiding Darkness energy from his deck and the Guzzlord, and puts the Guzzlord onto his bench. He attaches Hiding Dark to Weavile and takes 2 damage counters from the Frozen City that's in play. And Hunter uses Anguish Cry to knock out my Shining Genesect. I promote Bramblegast. Draw for turn. I use Voltage Beat to attach 2 energy from my deck to my Bramblegast. Thankfully, attaching grass energy from my deck means I get to avoid the damage from Frozen City. I also have Venusaur in hand. Using Bramblegast's attack, I only have to flip 1 coin because it's a heads. Spiritomb only had 20 HP remaining. And I go down to 4 prizes. Hunter still at 2 prizes remaining.
Yep, you got it. Don't even do it.
Hunter promotes Weavile and uses Trainer's Mail and finds the Dark Patch.
I forgot about dying.
With my 3 Pokemon in play that all have abilities, Weavile can only do 150 HP, which is not enough to knock out any of my Pokemon in play. If he found a Dark Claw or a Muscle Band, then Hunter could knock out Venusaur or Rillaboom. Looks like Hunter's hand is full of energy, and I think I saw a Versus Seeker there. So if he Versus Seekers for teammates, yep, which he is doing, he could get a Escape Rope and a Muscle Band to knock out one of my benched Stage 2 Pokemon. I'm not sure if Hunter plays Escape Rope. Hunter decides to grab the Evo Soda and 1 other card. He plays Evo Soda for the Liepard. It seems like he wants to draw into more cards. His hand might be a little bit clogged. And the second card is Rescue Carrier. So Hunter is getting back the Spiritomb to begin powering it up again. And unfortunately, I left Frozen City still in play, so he can skip some turns of building Spite to speed up Spiritomb's damage output. I would be curious to know if Hunter had an Escape Rope in his deck. I feel like that would be the optimal play, but it seems like he is fine simply swinging into Bramblegast, hoping for a 2-hit KO. Bramblegast takes 150 HP, but I still have, since Hunter has 4 prize cards remaining, I have effectively 300 HP on Bramblegast right now, so that's only half my damage. I find Energy Recycler, which is desperately needed. I put 5 energy back into my deck so I can continue to search them out with Rillaboom. My strategy from here is to just prevent Hunter from taking prizes as much as possible. I need to attack with Rillaboom or Venusaur. I go ahead and use Voltage Beat, and I decide to attach to Rillaboom. And looking back, I believe this is a misplay. It's probably better to attack with Venusaur. I think in my head, I'm expecting to survive another attack with Rillaboom, but if Rillaboom goes down, that means I have just Venusaur in play and with no energy on it and only 2 energy on Bramblegast. I need to attack with Venusaur here because if Venusaur gets knocked out, at least Rillaboom can continue to accelerate energy. But I decide to take out the Spiritomb as that's something that could potentially one-shot my Rillaboom pretty easily. This also preserves energy on my Bramblegast, so I don't have to hard retreat. Hunter promotes his Weavile again. 2 prizes left for Hunter, 3 prizes remaining for me. Hunter plays Colress's Experiment for turn. I need to continue taking hits and not giving up prize cards if I still want to come back from this game. Hunter puts Morpeko and Sableye into play, uses Sableye's ability to peek at the top card and decides to discard it. It is a Nest Ball, and then draws 2 cards with Liepard. I bet he's searching for the Muscle Band or Dark Claw here to take the knockout onto Rillaboom. And Hunter does show the Escape Rope, which means had he grabbed Escape Rope, Muscle Band earlier off of teammates, he could have knocked out one of my Stage 2 Pokemon. However, that would have left Bramblegast in play with still 300 HP unanswered and given it an additional 50 HP, so maybe he is trying to avoid that and wants to deal with this Bramblegast. I'm not sure. But I promote RillaSaur because without a damage modifier, he is still unable to take the knockout. So now I have two Pokemon, both with 150 HP on them, which I am very happy to see him whiff the knockout, because that means I'm about to tie it up to go down to 2-2 prizes. And I still have an undamaged Rillaboom on the board. However, if Hunter has Boss and Double Colorless to knock out RillaSaur with his Guzzlord, Hunter would win the game immediately. I use Voltage Beat here, attached to RillaSaur, planning on retreating into the Rillaboom. I want to just have whichever guy has the most HP in the active to hopefully tank another hit. I play Marty to reduce Hunter's extremely large hand size. I know he just selected a couple key cards with Colress Experiment. I do not want him to have whatever he chose off of that. RillaSaur being able to double the amount of energy means I can pay RillaSaur's 4 retreat cost with just 2 energy attached. I promote Rillaboom and take the knockout on Weavile. And if Hunter has Boss, Double Colorless Energy, or something like that, then Hunter can win the game here. He uses Stabilize Excavate to take a look at the top card and decides to keep it. He discards Hisuian Heavy Ball with Liepard's trade ability, draws 2, finds the Rescue Stretcher, and Hunter once again gets back the Spiritomb. Frozen City is still in play, which means Hunter can get up to 3 damage counters onto the Spiritomb. Without a Double Colorless Energy or Raihan on the Guzzlord, Spiritomb is his only attacker at the moment. Hunter puts the Fighting Fury belt onto the Guzzlord, giving it an additional 40 HP and 10 more damage. And Hunter does have Raihan for turn. Debating on where to attach the energy. Attacking with Guzzlord this turn still doesn't get him the knockout since he used the escape rope already. And Bramblegast would be able to take a hit from Guzzlord as well. And Hunter finds just another Dark Energy so he can even do an attack this turn with Spiritomb. Hunter attaches for turn to Spiritomb, again using Frozen City's effect for the 3rd time this game. And he has the Muscle Band attached to Spiritomb as well. Morpeko, free retreat into the Spiritomb. But with only 3 damage counters on the Spiritomb, Hunter can only do 120 damage with the Muscle Band. I have Field Blower in hand. I had it in hand last turn and I could have gotten rid of the Frozen City, but I decided to hold it. And it paid off because now Hunter lost access to his Fighting Fury belt on the Guzzlord, which does make a big difference because that means any of my 130 HP basic Pokemon will not die to a Guzzlord attack. I have Revitalizer to get back my Shining Genesect. And my idea with Shining Genesect here is to preserve an energy from the Bramblegast. And then I scoop up the Bramblegast to remove the damage from it. I use Rillaboom's Voltage Beat to attach another energy to Genesect. And then I attach return to Genesect to get effectively 6 energy onto it. Right now, Genesect is doing a huge 160 damage. I also have a Hex Maniac of my own, so I don't want Hunter to draw any cards, and I needed to scoop up the Bramblegast so that I wouldn't knock out my own Bramblegast with my own Hex Maniac. And this is the moment of truth. I go down to 1 prize remaining, Hunter with 2 prizes remaining. All he needs is an energy and a damage boost onto the Guzzlord to win the game. Dark Claw is still an option, but he can't draw with Liepard. He doesn't have Excavate with the Sableye, and I just have to hope he doesn't have it for game. And with my board state currently, I can take a knockout on whatever he has in the active. Hunter may be regretting attaching the Fighting Fury belt the previous turn, but I'm sure he played it so that it was out of his hand in case he got hit by another N or Marnie. He wouldn't have to re-find it, so he preemptively attached it to the Guzzlord, but in this instance it is coming back to bite him. If he had the Fighting Fury belt, he just needs 1 energy to attack and win the game. And Arvin is the supporter for turn. U-turn board is the grab from the deck and a level ball. And it looks like Hunter does not have the response he needs to win the game. He just has to pass. He does not have an energy. I draw Torterra and put it in the discard for some reason because I know that this game is over. I attach for turn to Genesect with effectively 8 energy in play. I'm doing 200 damage with Genesect, over 200 damage, 210 damage to take the final knockout and win the game, take the final prize. Hunter just barely not getting there. I was down 2 to 5 prize cards. I managed to come back and win. Hunter never took another prize card after getting down to 2 prizes, thanks to switching between my large HP Stage 2 Pokemon and Bramblegast to win the game. Bramblegast really came in clutch to show that it is definitely worth its spot here in the deck. That was a great game. GG's to Hunter. And I claim my 8th badge with Grass.